सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि
वाप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि
वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रम् अथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदम् माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्तु अनिराकरणं मे अस्तु तदात्मनि निरते य उपनिषत्सु धर्मा ते मयि सन्तु ओम शांति शांति शांति।
ओम शांति शांति शांति।
We were looking at the pramanas and we counted 6 pramanas. Not all of them are accepted by all the darshanas. Modern scientists only accept perception and inference. And other things also they include generally in inference, I think, with arthapati and all that. And anupalabdhi, which is the cognition of absence, is generally included in perception itself. Although we count some of those things differently, but the most important thing for us is Veda. Accepting the Veda as a pramana is the only thing which will give you this jnana, correct? Otherwise, what will happen? You will be asking for proof of what the Veda is saying. You are not going to get any proof because it can neither be proved nor be disproved. Is that clear? In fact, that is the lakshana of every knowledge. That is something people do not understand or they are not thinking about it. Because every knowledge at the end of the day is revealed by a particular pramana or a means of knowledge, and it can be only revealed through that. And because of that fact itself, it can neither be proved nor disproved by any other means of knowledge. This point has to be very, very clear to all of you, because our Swamiji is the one who actually brought out this facet properly, that Veda is a pramana. And that has a lot of implications about how we approach the Shastra, and also in the understanding of how the knowledge takes place. And what is the spiritual pursuit itself? How to do this pursuit of knowledge itself is dependent upon proper understanding of how the pramana works, how knowledge takes place, what is the nature of this knowledge. All these things you should have certain clarity. Otherwise, this whole, the so-called spirit, the word spiritual only I don't use normally much, okay? Better to use adhyatmika and all that. Our terminologies we can use a thing as long as you understand it. Okay. Or in English we can explain it in certain ways, that you pursue self-knowledge or whatever. Because spiritual means so many things to so many people, it is a useless word, I think. It's a confusion also. Everybody is using that word in some way. Some people think it is some mystic thing and you have to sit somewhere and experience some special experience and all that. What you have to understand is every experience is only an object, correct? Every experience, you are cognizing it as an experiencer. Here we are talking about you, the experiencer. It doesn't matter what you experience. You may be experiencing regular world, you may be experiencing something else. None of that matters until the time you understand your own nature. What is the truth of the experiencer? You are all the same. Whatever may be your experience, whether it is some mundane experience or exalted experience or extraordinary experience, whatever it may be. Is that clear? So experience itself doesn't matter. What you understand by analyzing all the experiences, that is what is matter. It is the important thing for us. So when we look at the Veda as a means of knowledge, we give it a certain status, correct? That is the biggest thing. We cannot force anybody to do that also. But the advantage we have here is we already have a certain reverence for the Veda, correct? Whether we understand it as a pramana or not, all of us have a certain reverential attitude at least. But that reverential attitude, now you have to make it a more knowledgeable reverence, correct? That I am now giving the status of the means of knowledge to the Veda. Then you are a Shraddhavan. Is that clear? Then only you have Shraddha. For a Shraddha is not faith or blind faith or anything like that. Faith word also is wrong translation of Shraddha. Understand that? Because in the Christian tradition, faith is even illogical things you should have faith in. You understand what I am saying? Even if something is illogical, because eternal heaven is illogical. There is nothing called eternal heaven. Veda also talks about Swarga, but you will come back, correct? Swarga Gamanam is not eternal. You cannot be there forever. Eternal heaven means it cannot even start. It has to be there already, correct? You understand what I am saying? They say it is eternal heaven, but you have to believe in somebody and go there. Then how is it eternal? It has not yet started then. If it starts in time, it will end in time. It will end with time, in fact. So eternal heaven and all is all some tourism promotion, like my Guruji used to say. All these heaven-bound theologies are all only doing tourism promotion. They are exploiting your fears and emotional insecurities and things like that. That's all they can do. They have, if you ask them a couple of questions, they'll say, shut up and listen to whatever I say, believe in me, otherwise you'll go to hell. So fear also they give you. All theologies are only fear-mongering and exploiting you. There is no knowledge or anything. The Vedanta is totally different. What the Veda is revealing is not the same. When we say Veda is a pramana, we also have to make sure that whatever the Veda is revealing does not contradict any other established knowledge. Is that clear? Because two characteristics are there for every means of knowledge. One of which we already saw in some detail. What is that? Anadhigatatvam, I said. Anadhigatatvam means what? Adhigatam means already known. If the pramana is only revealing what is already known, means it is only a restatement or a re-revelation, correct? It is not useful to me. But anadhigatam means what? It is revealing to you something unique, which was not available already. It is a unique field of revelation. Then it is useful to me. So anadhigatatvam itself has this implication that then you cannot ask for proof. But it should not be disproved. That is the most important point, correct? One implication of anadhigatatvam is it cannot be proved. That is fine. Or you cannot ask for proof. But it should not be also negated. Because even pratyaksha, sense perception, initially you have some perception, later on it can be negated, correct? One cognition can be stronger than another cognition. Even anumana also sometimes may not be correct. Because you thought that something is a hetu, but really it is not it may be a hetu abhasa. In fact, in the Nyaya Shastra they talk about something called hetu abhasa. Abhasa means you can say distortion or some kind of an appearance and all that. You thought it is reasoning, but it may not be, it may be a distorted reasoning. Then your conclusions can be wrong. Now, what are all the different types of Hetva Bhasa and all is discussed in our traditional Nyaya Shastra also. I don't want to go into all that, but I am just telling you. Even in modern logic, there are something called logical fallacies, correct? You think you are logical, but there can be many fallacies. So, you should be aware of logical fallacies. Okay, you may be falling into that also sometimes. So once you have a stronger cognition, that means previous cognition can be negated. Whatever is negated is not knowledge. Okay? Whatever is negated cannot be knowledge. It is negated means it is error. So in this only, some of the important statements we make in our tradition, we have to be very clear. So we say that knowledge is self-valid. Now what is the meaning of that? In Sanskritam we say Swatah Pramanyam. There is a saying called Swatah Pramanyam. In fact, when Shankara went to Mandana Mishra's place, the parrots in his house were saying Swatah Pramanyam, like that. It is there. Some of you may have heard it also. Correct? It is there in the Shankara Vijayam. They say that Mandana Mishra was a great Purvamimamsaka. Purvamimamsakas also say that Veda is the Swatah Pramana. It is self-valid. In fact, any means of knowledge is self-valid. Why do we say that? Because a cognition which is revealed by any means of knowledge is taken to be valid only until it is disproved. Is that clear? Otherwise, you can never clinch any cognition and you cannot have any transactions in the world. Because if you say one cognition has to be proved by another cognition, let us say, then how do you know that other cognition is valid? Then you will need one more cognition, then it will go into what we call anavastha, means it is infinite regress.
So cognition
means knowledge only, correct? See, I see that here there is a phone, correct? This is a phone, is a cognition.
Correct.
Now that is taken as valid cognition, correct? Then I can take the phone and do something also. So I do not wait, I do not say, okay, what is the proof that I am seeing the phone correctly? Nobody goes into things like that, correct? That my phone cognition has to be validated by or proved by something else. That I have to first prove my eyes are seeing the phone correctly, then only I will engage in some pravritti. It is not like that I will engage in some activity, etc. That's not how the world works, correct? Always, whatever becomes evident to me, that is taken as valid. And on that basis only, all activities are happening in this world. This is clear, correct? This is acceptable to all of us. That means it implies that knowledge is self-valid. If it is revealed by a means of knowledge, correct? If it is revealed by a proper means of knowledge, all knowledge is self-valid. You cannot ask for any proof. But it can be disproved. There is always a possibility. That's why we say Brahma is Paratah Pramanyam. Prama means valid knowledge. Brahma means error. Error is always when something becomes an error, some other stronger cognition comes and negates your prior cognition. Negation can happen. So to establish error, you require another cognition. To establish validity, you don't require another cognition. This is what is called Swatah Pramanyam, Parataha Apramanyam, we say. Apramanyam only, we require another cognition. This is a very fundamental thing in our theory of knowledge. This is clear to all of you. It's a simple thing only. It goes along with our experience, day-to-day experience. Now with all these things, we have to now approach the Veda as a pramana. Means whatever Veda is revealing to us has to be something unique which is not available to Pratyaksha and Anumana and all other pramanas. Depending on how many pramanas you accept, based on that, none of those should be revealing whatever is revealed in the Veda. Then only the Veda Vakya is a pramana. Is that clear? Whatever the Veda is revealing, that we have to arrive at a certain... See, there also there is something, because Veda, unlike your eyes and all that, Veda is not an automatic means of knowledge, correct? With eyes you don't have to do much. Only thing you have to keep your eyes open. With nose, even that you can't do. Many times, in fact, you can only close it. If you don't like some smell, anyway it will report. Eyes, at least you have an eyelid, you can close it. With nose, what you are going to do? You will anyway pick up. And sometimes it works. Automatically it works. Whether you want or not, nose is picking up the smell. Only thing we can do is, you can hold on to your nose if you don't like something. Even then, it may not work. You have to anyway breathe. So, it's a problem. With this automatic pramana also, whatever it reveals, everything is not desirable, or for some things only interest you, really, correct? And many times whatever it reveals is not useful. It is undesirable also. With reference to the pratyaksha and all, certain things can be undesirable. Many things you are nonchalant, means what? You are indifferent. It's like reading a newspaper. In those days, we were all, nowadays I don't know whether children even have the habit of reading any newspapers. But when we were growing up, reading newspaper was the biggest thing for us in the morning. That too we'll read, if my house has Indian Express, neighbor's house will have Hindu, somebody will have Dinamani, all papers we'll read, Tamil, English and different house, different papers. But children are interested only in sports. So we go to only sports. The last page only we are interested. Elders are interested. Really elders will be reading editorial and all that. Nobody, we were not interested in that. But anyway, newspaper has everything. Right? So many sections are there. Whoever is interested in whatever you want, you take it. Correct? Most pramanas are also like that. They are reporting whatever, particularly the sense organs are all reporting to you automatically. You then decide whether you want to do something with that or not. Now Veda also in one way is having so many things in that. But at least it cannot have anything undesirable because it is a deliberate means of knowledge made up of words. So Veda is not only revealing to you something which is anadigatam and abadhitam. See, two characteristics of any pramana and knowledge is that it has to be anadigatam and abadhitam. Abadhitam means it cannot be badhita, negated. It cannot be negated. Non-negated and already not revealed. That alone it has to reveal for it to be considered as a valid knowledge. And then further, if it is revealed by the Veda, it has to be phalavat arthabodhakatvam, we say. The Veda should have phalavat arthabodhakatvam, means what? It is revealing to me something which is phalavat, which is useful, which is desirable. In general, it has to be desirable. Of course, still many people may not be interested. Veda is saying, okay, if you want to go to Swarga, you do this. But you can say, no, I am a spiritual person. I am not interested in Swarga. I am a mumukshu. Okay? Better to say I am a mumukshu rather than spiritual person, like I said. But anyway, so I am a mumukshu. I am not interested in Swarga. Fine. So Veda is giving you so many kamya karma, I said. But Veda also is giving nitya karma. Nitya karma, you have no option. It is mandatory. You have to do every day. Naimitika karma means event based on some event, like some grahanam is there, then you have to do some tarpanam, some japam, some dhanam, whatever. So there are nitya karma, there are naimitika karma, all these things you have to do. So you got certain things you have optional, certain things are not optional. In optional, it may interest you, it may not interest you, it's up to you, all that. So like this, Veda is a pramana, but it is a pramana which is giving you only desirable things, because whatever means it is revealing to you, it is all for some end which is at least desirable to some people. It may not be desirable to all. But then it is also revealing to you finally about this self, which is Vedanta, I told you, right? The Upanishad is Vedanta because most of the Upanishads are at the end of the Veda. And Upanishad meaning itself, the etymology, we will look at it now. Upanishad means what? It has the sad is the dhatu, sad le. Okay, le is the it letter. I don't know how many of you have read Sanskrit grammar here. Sanskrit grammar is beautiful. As a system, I am saying. The Paninian Sutra and the grammar is amazing in its sophistication. I don't think any other language has anything like that. It is a wonder that somebody could do all that. Because Panini has created a meta language which is describing the natural language. Okay? And he has also thought of all the possibilities and created rules for that. Correct? It's like writing a mega software program. It's amazing that way. And so the L is the ith letter, means the ith letters are all indicatory letters. They are not really there. But they are there to indicate what rules may apply, etc. like that. Okay? The indicatory letters, they
Sorry, Upa plus Sad Dhatu chorela.
Sad is the dhatu. Sadlu is the indicative letter. Sadlu is the dhatu, but Sad alone is the actual sound or whatever, the dhatu. Now the Sad itself can come in three meanings. Okay. Of course, the Upa and Ni are prefixes. Now Sad, what are the three meanings? Visharana, Gati, Avasadanam. Like this. Bhashyakara is listing. It is there in the dhatu pata also. Sad. And also the pratyaya has to come, the suffix, because the dhatu alone cannot become a word, a meaningful word. Dhatu has a certain meaning attached to it, but only when a nominal suffix or a verbal suffix attaches, it becomes a word with a meaning. Okay? So nominal suffix means it will become a noun. And if a verbal suffix comes, then it becomes a verb. So the dhatu can either become a noun or it can become a verb. So the noun, they are all in Sanskritam we say subanta. Subanta means it is all nominal suffixes, it will become a pratipadikam there. Pratipadikam, and then again it takes the subanta and all that and becomes an actual pada. And also you can have tinganta we say. Tinganta means all this lut, ling, lot, so many different tenses are there. So people get tense by hearing all those tenses. There are 10 different lakaras are there. Remembering all those forms and all are not easy. Even I don't remember much. My vocabulary and Sanskrit knowledge is only limited to Bhashyakara and Bhashya and all that. Sanskrit by itself is very vast. Okay, the classical Sanskrit has lot of things. But we are all like only like horses, correct? We are only focusing on some subject matter. The vocabulary and jargon also is there. Technical words related to a particular subject matter alone we can retain. That also we started late, correct? We all started learning Sanskrit also as adults. It's not that we started as children or we were not speaking Sanskritam at home. So those are all the things anyway. So in this case, the Sadlu dhatu comes with a pratyaya called quip pratyaya. Quip is a nominal suffix which makes the dhatu into a noun meaning the karta. Kartari quip. Okay, karta means what? The quip pratyaya brings the meaning of doer. So for example, cook. In English also, cook is an interesting word, correct? Cook, let us take cook as a dhatu in English. You don't add anything. Cook can be a verb also, but cook also becomes a noun in the kartari sense, correct? The one who cooks is a cook also. But you did not add anything. Like this quip also is an invisible pratyaya. The entire quip is only ith letter. Actually, it doesn't leave anything. That is, it vanishes. It comes, makes the sad into a karta or an agent and silently vanishes. But now the sad has become a doer. So that means it is a doer of 3 types of action. Because 3 meanings are there. Visharana, Gati, Avasadana. In fact, English also is a very interesting language. If cook only you take, normally ER is a suffix in English, correct? Which comes in the meaning of kartari, the doer. So walk means walker. But walker also can either mean the person who is walking, or instrument also is a walker, correct? Nowadays, I have to use a walker means that's a different meaning. Or I am a walker means it's a different meaning. Cook also same thing. In fact, cooker is actually an instrument. In some other places, ER comes in kartari. In some other it comes in karana vyutpatti we say, correct? Instrumental and all that. So language itself is interesting that way, different languages we can analyze. In fact, once you learn Samskrita grammar, your ability to analyze other languages also increases because it gives you so many tools and ways of thinking that suddenly you see so many things otherwise you wouldn't have noticed also. So anyway, so the quip pratyaya comes and then now you are this, the meaning is Visharana means the one who, Visharana means basically like disintegration, basically the one which disintegrates something, correct? or you can say tear down or whatever. Like that, or shear and all we say in English also, correct? Shearing. Like
Dissipate.
wearing away. Dissipate. All these meanings are there. Visharana. So wearing out something. So that meaning, the one who wears out is Visharana. So now what do we say? The one which wears out samsara. Correct? Samsara. Samsara is anartha. And it does Visharana of that. That is one meaning. Then Gati. Gati means either Gamanam, means reach or know. Get. Gati means get. But even in English, get means either you obtain it or you understand. Correct? Getting. Did you get it? Means the meaning is in the sense of did you understand? Do you know? So get. Gati or Gamanam means knowing. So Brahma Gamayati. Because Brahma Vidya means Brahma Vidya is the one which makes you know this Brahman. So to know Brahman means the prefix also now we have to look into. Upa and Ni. Upa means near. Okay. And Ni is Nishchitartha. So definite, clear. Upa, near means what? Knowing the whatever is near. This Brahman is generally presented as as something abstract, correct? Brahman is Jagat Karanam. Okay. Brahman is all these things, it is the cause of the entire universe. And then you think where this Brahman is. But Brahman is Satyam Jnanam Anantam. Brahman is Jnanam. Jnanam means it is conscious entity. And then you cannot see anything conscious in the world. Whatever you know as an object, everything is only Jada. Okay? Nobody can objectify consciousness. Then where is this Brahman? The only consciousness you know is yourself. You are a conscious being or not. I am conscious. I am self-conscious, self-revealing entity. That means that Brahman being Anantam cannot be separate from this conscious being which I am. Correct? That is the implication. Because Brahman is both Anantam and Jnanam. If it is Anantam, means it is all pervasive, it is everywhere all the time, means it cannot be away from you also. Because if you are separate from Brahman, means it is no more Anantam. You yourself limit the Anantatvam of Brahman, it will become like that. So, this Brahman is yourself means it is the nearest. There cannot be anything nearer than Brahman to you. That's why Upa. Upa means whatever is near, and Brahman is the nearest because it is yourself. And it is a knowledge about that. But what kind of knowledge? Nischaya is also there, correct? Why we have to say definite and clear and all that? Because this whole pursuit is vicharatmaka. This Brahma Vidya does not happen just like that, correct? This Brahma Vidya is presented by the Veda as a pramana. But to arrive at the Veda Tatparya only you have to do what the Veda is actually revealing. What is the vision of the Veda? You have to arrive at it. Because Veda itself is in the form of words. And even there only the Padartha is not enough. I say Tattvamasi, correct? You are that. No, you know the meaning of you know the meaning of are, you know the meaning of that. Still it is not enough. Padartha alone is not enough. You should know the Vakyartha. What does the sentence actually convey? What is the implication of that? And if it is an equation, you are, that is an equation. And every equation means there is an apparent contradiction. Correct? All equations have apparent contradiction. You have to arrive at the identity. Arriving at the identity is the Nischaya Artha you are arriving at. Correct? Because nobody gives an equation 1 equal to 1. It is meaningless. Left hand side and right hand side, if it is the same, If somebody says 1 equal to, I want you to know a new equation I have discovered, what? 1 equal to 1. Doesn't make any sense. But at least for even to a child we can say 3 minus 2 equal to 5 minus 4. Means there is some, at least the symbols are different, correct? 3 minus 2 you have to arrive at 1. Okay, 5 minus 4 also is 1. So now I understand that there is an identity there. So I have to arrive at the identity. There is a certain analysis to be done. That vichara is there. That's why that me also is very important in Upanishad. So when Upanishad means Brahma Vidya, it also implies that there is vichara and that knowledge is something which is clear and definite. You have arrived at that knowledge. So Brahma Gamayati, Brahma Vidya. And then Samulam. Avasadana means putting an end, bringing it to a stop, completely destroy something. That is called Avasadanam. Means this Brahma Vidya, Upanishad, destroys ignorance. Ignorance is the root of all anartha. Just wearing out is not enough, correct? Sometimes, even if you cut a tree, it will again come, correct? As long as the roots are there, it will come up. Like that, wearing out Visharana alone is not enough. Samulam avasadayati. You have to now destroy it along with its cause, the samsara, and that is this ajnanam itself has to go away. Atma Jnanam is the root of everything. All the things which we face is because you do not know yourself, your own reality correctly, and you take yourself as something which you are not really. Because Vedanta itself is very simple. Once you get clarity, it's not that complicated. But still it is a subtle knowledge, I have to say, because this knowledge is different from all other knowledge which you have gained all your life. So all other knowledge you have gained as a knower. You have taken yourself for granted as a subject and knower because you never analyzed yourself. People put some identity on you. You are so and so, you are son of somebody, daughter of somebody, you are husband of somebody, you are an employee in this company, all that, correct? So many identities are all foisted on you. You have taken up all that and you have gulped it without any analysis. And based on that, you have now taken yourself as a knower and a subject. Then all your life you are only gaining objective knowledge, correct? In fact, science also prides itself in saying that it is objective. Are you objective or not? Okay. Anything subjective means they don't like it. Scientists also. One reason for that is they cannot study it also properly. They have a problem. In fact, nowadays there are some consciousness studies and all that. They talk about qualia. There is a word called qualia now, which is for all the subjective experiences. They use that word. But still some people accept it, some people do not and all that. There are some interesting studies and all going on. But what I am saying is, all the knowledge you have gained is all objective knowledge. That means you objectify in your mind and then you know it as a subject, as a knower. Even black hole, which is supposed to be not available, we infer it using certain measurements and all that. That also you finally conceptualize in your mind and know that. It's all only by objectifying in your mind only you have known everything. But the subject about which now Vedanta is talking cannot be objectified. Is that clear? You cannot objectify yourself. But still, what is the habitual tendency? You want to objectify everything and know. So even if I say you are Ananta, okay. Atma is Ananta Swarupa. Means you now imagine that you are spreading all over space. You are spreading this entire room, you are there. Because you think that you only occupy this body, right? At least you want to become bigger than that. But even then what? How much you are going to visualize? It's not about visualizing. When the Vedanta says you are Ananta, it is really saying the space-time itself is you. Space-time is in you. You are not an entity in space-time, but space-time itself is in you, and you exist independent of this space-time. That's what it is trying to teach you. It has to be understood as it is. It's not some experiential knowledge or anything, but it's the reality. So how do I know it is the reality? It is not beyond your experience also. Why? Because I as an entity exists even when space-time is not cognized, correct? In deep sleep there is no space-time. But I am there. Space-time, or I can create a totally new space-time in dream world. Even then I am there. Or I wake up in this waking world also, I am there. So from all this analysis, what do I know? I am there always. The I is the invariable in all the states. But the states can come and go. My existence is not dependent on any space-time being there or not there, or a new space-time has come, I am still there. That space-time is gone, I go back to some waking space-time, I am still there. No space-time is there, everything is resolved also, I am there. I am the invariable in each and every cognition. In fact, Kenopanishad will say that Pratibodha Viditam Matam. It's a very important statement. We will see that later. So this I, it is independent. So what this Vedanta is doing, Upanishad is doing, is not giving you any new knowledge, in fact, in the sense that I need not be revealed by the Veda. Is that clear? Because I as an entity, all of us know very intimately. If I ask you, are you there? Everybody will say yes. So how did you know you are there? Means you don't have to use any means of knowledge to know I am there, correct? You need not say that, okay, I saw my body, therefore I am there. Or you don't have to infer, I am married, therefore I have to be there. Because I have a spouse. It's not like that. So I don't have to use any pratyaksha or anumana or any means of knowledge to know myself. That's why I say Atma is Swatassiddhaha, we say. And Swaprakasha. It is self-revealing and self-existent reality, entity, because it need not be established by any means of knowledge. Because you are the very... As soon as you talk about a pramana vyapara, the knower is implied, correct? Without knower, there is nobody is there to even use the means of knowledge. Knower is already there. But that knower cannot be objectified. So this whole knowledge is not about an objective knowledge. Is that clear? That point first you should be very clear. You can never know yourself as another object or anything. That's why no experience also is useful. All experience has to be further analyzed, and you have to arrive at this knowledge, which is nothing but removing all your wrong notions about yourself. All the Veda does is what? It need not establish your existence or anything. You are already there. You know yourself. Everybody knows themselves. But currently you are knowing yourself wrongly. All the Vedanta is doing is that they come and remove all your wrong notions about yourself. Because what is the mistake you are doing? You know, everybody knows that I am the knower, correct? I is the subject. So then one rule all of you can easily apply. What is that rule? Whatever I know is not I, correct? That's all is Vedanta. Vedanta is nothing more than that. This is the only thing you have to be alert all the time. What is the thing? Whatever I know is not I. This is a very simple principle. Everybody can understand that and you can appreciate it, correct? There is nothing to dispute also. Whatever I know is an object of my knowledge and it is not I. Then there is no confusion. Nobody confuses this phone. I know the phone, but phone is not I. There is no confusion also. Clarity. Cloth, I know. Nobody confuses this. If somebody confuses this and all, we'll send them to Kilpak or somewhere, correct? Agra, so many places are there. So this level of confusion is not there. That will become insanity. But then the confusion starts from here. From here, I know the body, but still I take the body as I. This is where everything starts. Bhashyakara calls this as this Anyonya Adhyasa. Okay. This is a natural, but it is there naturally. That's why he says Naisargikaha also. It is not created or anything. It is how it is. You find yourself taking this body as I, but body is something I know. It is an object of my cognition. How can it be I then? It cannot be I. This body cannot be I. Because I know this body. Whatever is happening within the body also I know. I know my hunger means you are not hungry. Vedantic logic is ulta, understand that. Normally you say, I know I am hungry means you say I am hungry. I know my hunger, therefore I am hungry. No, Vedanta comes and say, you know your hunger, therefore you are not hungry. You are only the knower of hunger. You are not hungry. It even extends further to your mind also. Understand that all your thoughts you know. All thoughts become evident to you. Therefore you are not your mind or your thoughts. Even I thought is not you. Is that clear? I thought is the fundamental thought. The notion of me being some individual entity, the I thought, even when there is no I thought, I am still there, correct, in deep sleep. So I thought is also only in the mind. It belongs to the mind. The I thought is called as ego and all that, correct? So I thought also is not I. It is only a thought. Whatever you think about yourself is not you. Because that also is a thought in your mind. Is that clear? I thought also is gone. It's all at the level of your mind alone. Atma is the conscious entity to which all the things becomes evident. That includes your suffering also. Even I can tell you now, but if somebody is really coming and crying and suffering and all that, we cannot tell them, hey, don't worry, you are only a knower of suffering. You are not really. But Vedantic logic is there also, you have to apply. Understand that. I know my suffering means, normally people say, oh, you are suffering, yes, because you know that you are suffering. Vedanta says, no, you are only a knower of your suffering. You are not suffering then. There is no suffering or anything. Everything becomes evident to you. But initially it is difficult to get it correct. It takes some, because the habitual tendencies are different. And the sahaja means what? What is natural to us is the identity with the body, mind, sense complex. All these years and so many lifetimes also we say, there is a natural identity. I am placing the I on this, on different body, mind, sense complexes, assuming that we all of us have had so many different lives. Or at least this body, mind, sense complex, from childhood onwards, you are placing the I on that. So, dehina asmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara. So, Bhagavan also says that. When you are a child also I. When you are youth also I. When you are becoming older, adult also I, old age also I, same I is the same. But body keeps on changing. Still I is the same. There cannot be any difference in I, correct? There is also in my appreciation of I, it is a partless whole. This is another thing you have to understand. I, when I say, it doesn't have any parts or anything. Even if I cut my leg off, I am still the same I, correct? I am still... The I doesn't become 3/4 I. It cannot become like that. Even if somebody does not have a leg and somebody murders that fellow, even law-wise also, the judge will not say, okay, this fellow has killed only a person with one leg. So he will get 3/4 the life sentence because he killed only 3/4 person. It's not like that. A person is a person, correct? It's a partless whole. The I, we always sense this I as a partless whole. And its very nature is being conscious. This consciousness is not something which comes and goes. It is my very nature. It is always there. If something comes and goes means it can be an attribute. Attributes can come, attributes can go. Qualities can come, qualities can go. But whatever is there with you all the time, that alone is your truth. That alone is the reality. That reality is that I am a conscious being. This conscious being is self-revealing, self-existent entity. And to know this, I don't have to objectify myself. I am there. You have to just be yourself and get rid of all wrong notions based on your body, mind, sense complex. So the whole Vedanta is about neti only. Not this, not this. I am not this, I am not this. I am whatever I know, I am not, I am not, I am not. That's all. That's how Veda also teaches that, correct? It says neti. Nedam ididam upasate. Kenopanishad also says, whatever, this Brahman is Atma. Once we say Brahman is Atma, this Brahman cannot become an object, correct? I told you already. Brahman cannot be an object. But then what is the popular idea? I am a great Vishnu Bhakta. He has 4 arms, Shankam, Chakram, all that we visualize. Or Shiva Bhakta. But the problem is, all that is fine. We say that for Upasana, you have a Dhyana Shloka, you have to visualize that, nothing wrong. Even through that also we learn certain Tattva, correct? Like Kalyanji was saying about Ashtamurti and all that, Dakshinamurti. In fact, all our Upasaka Devatas also, their Tattva we have to understand. You don't have to literally take that. And if you say the even Vishnu Sahasranama you all chant, correct? Dhyana Shlokam. What is that? Bhuf Padav. So what does it tell you? That his feet are in Bhumi, his head is there. In heaven means it is Sarva Vyapi, correct? Vishnu itself means Vyapnoti iti Vishnu. Vishnu Tattvam is that which is all pervading and sustains everything, correct? The sustenance is the Vishnu Tattva. Then Shiva Tattva means that into which everything resolves. That's why Shiva has Vibhuti. Vibhuti means glory, one meaning. But Vibhuti also means ash. Why should the ash be called the glory of Shiva? Because Shiva Tattvam is like that. Shiva Tattvam is into which everything resolves. Means what?
Resolves.
Ash represents that. Why? Because you burn everything. What it becomes?
Ash.
All Nama Rupa is gone. What is left out is only Vibhuti, correct? That is the ash. So that's why Shiva also has the Jnana Chakshu.
Third eye.
Netrikan, the third eye. And what does the third eye do? If Shiva opens the third eye, all Nama Rupa is burnt. Gone away means what? That Tattva. Basically it is Jnanam. That you only see the reality which is independent of all names and forms. Correct? Names and forms are gone. Even while the pot is there, you can cognize it as clay. Correct? In your understanding of clay, there is no potness. But this is beautifully said even in our, by Tirumular and all that. In Tamil, we have this Tirumandir, correct? So there he says, Marattai maraitadu Mahamadayanai. But Maratil maraitadu Mahamadayanai. So there is a mad elephant, but it is really a sculpture. It's not real. But if you look at it as mad elephant about to attack you, at that time what happens? The mad elephant has covered the reality that it is just a wood. Wood alone is the reality. But if you look at it as mad elephant, then for you mad elephant alone is real. You are ready to run, in fact. You don't want to be trampled under the feet of an elephant. Then somebody has to get hold of you. Hey, stop, don't run anywhere. Why? Because it is only wood. Once you look at it as wood, what happens? There is no mad elephant anymore, correct? The mad elephant has vanished. For that you don't have to break the sculpture or anything, correct? It's only jnanam. That is the jnana chakshu. That is Shiva's netrikan and all that, correct? The third eye is what? It is purely jnanam, where the nama rupa is gone. It vanishes. In fact, it is unreal. In fact, you see the nama rupa as unreal. You only see the reality alone matters. Then marattil maraindadu mamadayanai. Means this mad elephant has vanished into the wood. If you cognize it as wood, there is only wood. There is no elephant or anything. In your understanding of woodness, there is no elephantness or anything like that. That is all unreal. Then he says, Parattai maraitadu par mudal bhutam. So there is only Param Brahma. There is only one entity here, which is Satyam Jnanam Anantam, which is you also, in fact. It cannot be separate from you, I told you. But then what are you seeing? You are only seeing space-time and all the objects in space-time, correct? Means all par mudal bhutam. Means bhuta means mahabhuta. We say that tasmad etasmad atmanaha akasha sambhuta. Akasha came first. Akasha vayuhu. Vayu agni agnerapah adhyaf prithvi. Like that. All the panchabhutas. Then bhautikas. These then panchikaranam and all you may have studied. So they mix up the elements and elemental. We have a 5-element model of creation. And element and elementals. Now if you look at elements and elementals, you are only seeing the mad elephant. And you are afraid, samsara only then. All suffering, fear, problems. But then what? What is the reality of all these things? In fact, even scientists understand that nowadays, correct? What you call as reality and all is 99% space. You go at a quantum level, there is only space. The nucleus is so small. And the electron cloud and all is sitting somewhere. In reality, 99% is only space. Then what is all this solid, liquid, gas and so many things, including my body, mind and all that? It's all only Maya, correct? It's all Maya, it's an appearance. Most scientists understand Mithya, but they don't have any idea about Satyam, which is yourself. You are the reality which is sustaining all this appearance. Like you are the reality who sustains the entire dream world, correct? But while in dream you don't know that. Same thing here. Waking is no different. You are the reality who gives with the very existence to everything which is there here, including space-time. That reality is you. That is Brahman. That Brahma Vidya is the one which will free you from everything. Because my problem is taking myself as a limited being in this creation. Is that clear? As long as I look upon myself as a limited person, whatever may be my accomplishment, you will not be acceptable to yourself. Wherever you are. As long as you are a Jiva, you can become Indra, you can become Brihaspati, you can become Brahmaji also. Correct? Hiranyagarbha. Doesn't matter. Shochami. You will be ending up in sorrow. Narada does that. Narada goes to Sanat Kumara. Then Sanat Kumara asks, what all you know? He is giving a big list. I know all the 4 Vedas. I know all the Veda Angas. I know Rasa Vidya. I know this Vidya, that Vidya. He is giving a huge list. I know everything. All objective knowledge, correct? But then he says, Aham Shochami. I am in sorrow still. After knowing all these things also, then he says, I have heard that Atmavit Tarati Shokam, but one who knows oneself crosses all sorrow. I have heard this. So, hey Bhagavan, you now teach me what is this Atma. Then he says, Yo Bhuma Tat Sukham. So this Atma is really Bhuma, it is Ananta, it is the source of all happiness. But you take yourself as Alpam. If you look upon yourself as Alpa and limited, you cannot escape suffering, sorrow. You will end up in sorrow only, but that identification itself is a wrong identification. And Brahma Vidya is the antidote. Brahma Vidya comes and frees you from this wrong identification. In fact, it is such an antidote that you are no more a knower also. This is the only knowledge which comes and removes your status as a knower also. Knower itself is, because all knowledge is objective knowledge, whatever you know. The objects are all mithya. Means your status of being a subject also is mithya. It is also not real. So this is the knowledge which comes and removes the very notion that I am a limited knower. Because knower also is limited. Knower is limited by the very fact that you are knowing something which is other than yourself. So knower also is a problem. That is also neti neti. You are not, because knower and all is dependent on mind being there. Your status of a knower is nothing but how you are conditioned by your mind. Based on the conditioning of your mind only you are a knower. But if you are not the mind also, you are not a knower. You are who you are as you are. You don't even have to give a name. In fact, Bhashyakara says even the word Atma is not required. I and all is required only because we are with reference to other things. I have to differentiate myself, correct? I have to use some word, I, Atma. But he says even the word Atma is not necessary. If you know yourself, you know you are as you are. You don't require even any word for that. That's the reality. And that is the teaching. Of course, this teaching, we'll see now how Kenopanishad unfolds this vision. Okay? Om Purnamada
Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavachishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om